students, thank you for taking the time to view this quick orientation of the Odysseyware program, and I'd like to walk you through how to log in to the program, whether you're at home on your own computer or at a district school or even just on a district device. The first thing that you'll do is go to your browser bar, and you can either go to the regular CNUSD website or you can go to your school website. Either way, you'll get to a page that looks something like this. If it is your school website, it will have the name of the school here. I'm going to go ahead and click on this blue Students tab here because that's what I would want you to do. And you're going to, in this box here where it has a fake email, I want you to go ahead and type in your ID number, the @ sign, and then students with an S at the end. See that S there? .cnusd.k12.ca.us. And then go ahead and put in your password. And that would be your password that you would use to log into any district computer. And then hit sign in. And it's going to sign you in to what's called our single sign-on system. So now I can access all sorts of things. I can access Student Connect, I can access my email or Canvas like we talked about earlier. Now from this point, now I would go to cnusd.owschools.com. And that is also on your syllabus. So if you forget that website, it's on your syllabus as well. And then click on Sign In with Azure. And it's going to sign me in because I'm already signed into the district system. So now I'm on the Odysseyware homepage. From here, I can do a couple different things. I can look at frequently asked questions. I can look at what's new. I can watch this quick little instructional video here. It's just an introduction to Odysseyware. I can sign out, which I don't want to do yet. This number here is for help, but if you need help with anything on Odysseyware, you're going to end up asking your instructors before you end up calling that phone number. Any messages that you have, you would click on this, and you can read and respond to messages. You can also send messages to your teachers. And then if you go to, this tab here, this Learn tab with the light bulb, it's going to take you to all of your courses and all of the lessons that you have assigned, and it will have the due dates over here on the side. And as we talked about, or are going to talk about when we get to the syllabus, it's really important that you try to stick to these due dates as closely as possible in case we're using information from these lessons to do something in class. So let's go ahead and take a peek at some of these lessons. If we look at this one here, this L, this means lesson. This P means project. It was assigned on and is due on 8/14. So we'll click on this arrow here. And what you'll see is a series of pages or kind of mini lessons that you're going to move through until you get to some questions or a quiz at the end. So as we are looking at this page, there's a few things to notice here. First, we have the title. So of course, you'll want to take Cornell notes, and this should be the title of your lesson. And we need one full page of Cornell notes. So I would be looking definitely to possibly write down some objectives and some vocabulary, since those seem to be highlighted here very first thing. And then I have a game here I can play, either the spelling bee or the flashcards, to test my understanding of the vocabulary. And then I'm going to move down and start reading about the plot in The Most Dangerous Game. As I get here, I see there's a link, and if I click on that, it will take me to an online version of the story. And this is nice because if there are any questions that you need to refer to the text while you're answering, you can click back and forth. So here I'm at Odysseyware, and here I can click over and look at the text and refer to it to help me with my questions as I'm answering them at the end of this lesson here. So I'm going to continue reading. I'm going to watch this video, and if I need the transcript for the video, I can just click right here to see the transcript. continue reading and taking notes. I've gotten to the bottom, so now I'll go on to the next section. Okay, and this is part of the same lesson as well. So again, this is still part of that same page of Cornell notes. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go over. If you need to go over, you're more than welcome to, but we know that that one page is the minimum. So here's something I'm supposed to listen to.
A story's climax is often characterized by a final confrontation between the protagonist and the antagonist.
Okay, and there's also a transcript for this, and then the same thing for this little video here.
It is important to remember the story's climax is the point where the peak of the action has been reached. So,
okay, just a little intro to what that would look like. Here's a graphic that they want you to look at. They may have you copy something like this onto your paper in your notes. And we'll keep going down, we're taking more notes, and then we go on to the next section. So here's a little game that we're supposed to do. They want us to put these plot elements in order from first to last as they would occur in a typical linear story. So we'd probably start with, let's see, start with a unstable situation, rising action, climax, falling action, and stable situation. Let's see if we're correct. We got it. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next section. And now we're going to answer the questions. So this is where you can use those notes, and if you've taken really decent notes, that'll help you with these questions. And then right off the bat, we see we have a written response that's required here. Now, something really important to remember about these written responses is that they say in 150 words or less, or 150 words or more. So your teachers may have different philosophies on this, but really what's really important is that you get as close to that number as possible, but that you really make sure that you're answering the question and that you're doing it in your own words. Okay, the substance is more important than the length, so kind of keep that in mind. And if you have questions about what your teachers expect as far as length, because each teacher may be a little bit different, don't be afraid to ask. Okay, something else that I wanted to point out here is it does tell you the word count. It will tell you your overall score as far as the grade level that the computer senses you're writing at, your readability score, how much your topic agrees with what you're supposed to be writing, and your writing score in general. But again, your teacher is the one that actually grades this here. So this is just more of a general guide. Your teacher is the one that will give you an actual score on this assignment. Something I'd like to suggest if you're doing any kind of written response is that you first type your answers in either a Google Doc that saves itself automatically over time, or that you do it in a Word document that you save each time you're finished. And that way you have a record of all of your written responses, because once in a while Odysseyware will glitch and we won't get the written responses that you've submitted. So if you write them in one of those two formats, either Google Docs or Microsoft Word, you can then copy and paste it into the writer here and then hit turn it in, or hit next question, I'm sorry. Or you could save it as a Google Doc and then upload it, as a Word document and then upload it here. Either way would be fine. So we'll go to the next question. Okay, we've got some multiple choice questions here. As you can see, I've already played around with this a little bit. Okay, I've answered all these questions. Here's another written response, and they want 300 words or less in this one. Okay, next question, and now we're at the end here. So we'll hit turn it in. I should change some of my answers because I only got 10% out of 10 the first time. Of course, I'm just picking random ones, and I expect that you're not actually going to do that. So, I got a 0%. So I only have 7 attempts left on this assignment. You actually have 10 attempts for each assignment. If you find that you're past the second or third attempt and you're still having a hard time, that's the point where you should probably email your teacher or send them a remind message and let them know that you need help. Okay, but you can hit try again here, and it will take you back to the beginning of the lesson. You can hit keep going. It actually won't let us click on this because we haven't passed this with the 70% or better. Or you can just go back to your assignments if you'd like to take a break from that one and come back to it later. Okay, so these are all of our courses here that you can see these. You can also view them by course, and you can see your score in Odysseyware, which is just your score in the Odysseyware coursework. It doesn't include other components of your grade, but it does include your score on your Odysseyware coursework and then your progress. So this is really important, actually. We typically would like to see students at about 50% by the end of the first quarter to help them stay on pace to finish 100% of the course by the end of the semester. Okay, so if you click on that, you'll see your assignments. They're not coming up right now, but your assignments just for those courses. Okay, and then of course, when you're done with your coursework, you'll want to make sure that you hit sign out, especially if you're on a public computer. So that concludes our short introductory presentation to Odysseyware. If you have any questions about how to use Odysseyware or how to log in, now is the perfect time to ask.